going on? Welcome to another episode of Keys in D Minor. This is Season 2, Episode 2. I'm your host, Gr8tness, with my co-host, Keyshawn Davis. And today we're going to be talking to Sacramento rapper Gr8tness. So without further ado...
Come on, let's get to it. Ain't no hold on. Everybody get your motherfucking roll on. Shawty been wanting to throw it, tell me go long. Got the bounce, girl, you know it ain't no slow song. Come on, let's get to it. Ain't no hold on. Everybody get your motherfucking roll on. Shawty been wanting to throw it, tell me go long.
We have Gr8tness sitting here with us.
Sir. Welcome to the show, brother. Appreciate it.
How you doing today?
Not too bad. Just kind of getting the day started for a long day, but chilling.
You got a show coming up, I heard?
Yeah, tonight at the Rush Room, downtown Sacramento. I go on at exactly 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Opening up, so.
Tonight at the time of recording, by the way, this is a Friday night, so once you listen to this, it will have already happened. It's going to be past tense. But we excited for you right now. Me and my boy Ant, we go way back, right?
Way back. Max, too.
Yep,
Like,
our
we all
engineer.
had class back in Sac State journalism.
Sac State College journalism days.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that. Maybe we open it up right there. So,
Mm-hmm.
because you were making music when you were at Sac State, right?
Yeah, I've been making music my whole life.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, and then journalism kind of fit because I love writing.
Yeah.
So, and the possibilities after journalism, like the certain jobs and stuff, for example, podcasts.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at when I decided to major.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And so then how do you feel like you balance the whole like student and artist thing at the same time? Because I know that's hard.
It is hard because a lot of the time has to be dedicated to school.
Yeah.
If you really want to finish school, like, it took me a long time, but yeah, it was pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty tough. Now that I'm done, it's a lot easier to focus strictly on music.
And did you feel like there was a lot of opportunity there too, though, at the same time, like being on a college campus while making music?
At the time, for me, not really.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you guys know, Sac State doesn't really have this particular branch of music incorporated.
Yeah.
Looking at the music department, they have more so like instruments and jazz and band and stuff like that. But as far as like rap recording, you know what I mean, engineering, I didn't really see anything that would fit.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because I feel like it's the biggest form of music right now, right?
Exactly.
So
right,
I feel
exactly.
like, for these college campuses, maybe they need to, start broadening their horizons a little bit.
Update a little bit, and they'll probably get a lot more people involved in the music department, in my opinion.
Yeah, because for non-music majors, like more college students rap than like, you feel me, play the cello.
Facts.
So
Facts. Play any instrument in general. Like, a lot of people want to just be recording artists. So
exactly.
And you said you've been making music your whole life. When did you start making music?
I started playing the saxophone in the 4th grade.
Okay, my man played the sax.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played, but yeah, I started playing, and then I wrote my first rap in the 5th grade. So I've been doing this for a long time, but I didn't really record my first song until like freshman year of high school. And that's how I really got into it. I haven't stopped since.
Okay.
And was that like a rap song or?
Yeah. So one of my buddies back in high school, he was rapping in middle school, and he kind of introduced it to me a little bit in high school freshman year. And then I went to his spot. We recorded like 6 songs. And then I just kept it going and started recording myself at my house by like a little $20 microphone, the Adobe Audition.
Yep.
And was just going from there, and then switched to the MacBook Pros, recording off a cell phone headset.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the MySpace days.
Where'd you go to school?
High school?
Mm-hmm.
Salesian.
Okay.
Yeah, right
Sure.
next to Richmond High.
Yep. See, Richmond on the podcast. We gain up on you, Key. What's up?
It's all good. When you say you started, like, you put out your first song out in high school, like, and you was rapping, like, in high school, like, what type of songs were you making out in there? Like, was it, like, the party type, like?
To be honest, it was pretty much the same type of stuff I make now.
Okay.
I've never really changed my topics.
Right.
Like, everything that I'm involved with, life, you know, like family, parties, girls.
Yeah.
That's what I stick to. That's what I know best. So, like, my lifestyle. So, I can't really fake it till I make it type.
Right.
You know what I mean? It has to come from a real place, or else I really can't talk about it.
I feel that.
I think authenticity in the music is important, though.
Yeah,
because with some people, with the type of music they make, like, you could definitely tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everyone. Some people fake it till they make it great.
Yeah.
You know, that's, and people's lives is their business. So if you're good at making music and can fake it and sell it, like, that's what's most important.
Oh, yeah.
But some people, you can definitely tell, like, that's not you, just off listen. So
yeah, and you could tell, you could feel it too. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. The biggest artist, in my opinion, I mean, like, you think of like Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole. You can feel that they're telling the truth when they rap. You know what I mean? They can't just make up all those bars and the cadences and the style and everything and sell it like that. Nobody's really going to buy into it. And most people who do fake it till you make it fall off, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I feel like that tracks, because sometimes people will kind of fall off for what seems like no reason. Because what people will do, what fans will do, is they'll just count numbers.
Exactly.
Like, they'll be like, oh, the streaming numbers was here, and now they're not.
Exactly, and that's why people say numbers don't lie. I feel like numbers lie all the time, especially when it comes to views, streaming numbers, because I look at it like, no shade to anybody, but if you notice when people post their numbers, they post Spotify numbers, and they rarely post Apple Music numbers, because Spotify, you can buy those playlists, things like that, get placements. So it's a lot of inflated numbers when it comes to that, but so numbers definitely do lie. I've seen it.
Sure. And so for you then, where do you place numbers as like a value when it comes to your artistry, right? Because there is the thing where, at the same time, like, numbers can help you get further along. If you know what your numbers are, you might be better positioned to, to grow as an artist, or to get further along, I should say.
So, for example, I had a show out here. I put on my own concerts. Yeah. So I had a show out here in 2019 before the pandemic. And it was my show. I cultivated everything, booked all the artists and everything, but I decided to have these local Sacramento artists headline. And the day of the show, they got all these numbers, thousands of views, plays, whatever. The day of the show, I perform right before them. As soon as I'm done, there's nobody left in the crowd. Now, if these numbers were real, why aren't there anybody still here? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then they put out a video showing that there's people in the crowd, but it's edited. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like the numbers will show when you perform. If you got people in the crowd, that's really all that matters, because I'm sure you guys know most artists make their money on tours.
Yes.
Yes.
And so if nobody's at these tours, you're not going to make no money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can inflate all your views, streams, and everything, but if they're not showing up in real life, is that real? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So there's definitely ways of weeding that out. Yeah.
So I wanted to get into your latest project, Social Introvert. Can you kind of talk about like how you came up with that name, the Social Introvert? It's kind of like a little contradiction, like, you being social, but you're also introverted. Want to talk about that a little bit?
So it was kind of inspired by Kendrick.
Okay.
He had that line, antisocial extrovert.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it kind of relates, but I don't feel like I'm antisocial.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like the opposite of that.
Okay.
I'll be out in a setting. I like being out, but most times I'm like to myself. I'm
Yeah.
like more so on the shy side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I stick with people who I'm with. So that kind of spoke to me, and I felt like that's who I was. Like, I'm a bartender too.
Okay.
So I'm like, I kind of have to be social in certain settings, but as soon as I'm done, I'm right back to being the quiet guy. Or even when I perform, a lot of people say that I'm two different people. And I'm a Gemini too, because that kind of works.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like that's my split personality also, where I'm on stage, I'm this turned up, animated person, but as soon as I get back off, that's gone, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's also like kind of pertains to my name too, Greatness.
Yeah.
I usually introduce myself by saying I go by greatness instead of saying I am greatness, because I feel like greatness is just a goal for me. It's not really a name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how you write like your goals on a note or whatever and post it certain places. Like, I tell people it's just a goal for me. So I see it everywhere. And the bigger it gets, the closer I'm getting to it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
dialing it back, social introvert is just who I am for real. And these past couple albums, all my other projects, I've always had an 8 in it, like the number 8 incorporated, like Figure 8, Creative, 8 Hour Party, Summer's Overrated, Winter Could Wait. Like, it always had an 8 in it, but I kind of wanted to treat this one more like an album.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to switch it up, even though technically to me it's not an album. I call it a pre-album.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just who I am.
Hey, I'm honestly the same way. Like, you can ask Nige. I'll be at a party for like a good hour, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'll just like
that social battery. Right out.
It's happened plenty of times.
plenty of time.
Yeah, but it's like I call myself a homebody, but I actually also like being out too.
Yeah.
But when I'm outside, I don't really talk to nobody.
Right.
So it's like,
You don't mind being in the mix, like
exactly,
like where the fun things are happening. Like, I'm here, like
People
I'm not at home on
watching
my
and all
phone.
that.
But yeah, but at the same time, I'm not but finna get right in the middle of it either.
yeah. Because I used to call it. I was center of attention. That's what I had a group called Center of Attention, but I kind of faded away, and I realized like I don't really have to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to be a social introvert, I started like wearing these hats and everything. And a lot of people coming up to me like, oh yeah, I feel the same way about me, blah, blah. So I feel like a lot of people can relate to it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is dope.
And I
For
think
sure.
that's where like I think that's where the artistry comes in when you're talking about, you know, you have these numbers, but where the folks at? You relating to people, like you still touching people, even if, I mean, I'm not, you know, number watching you at all, but let's just say your Spotify numbers, you know, didn't necessarily quote unquote say that, but you know, you're going out, you know, the messaging of your music and the way you're branding yourself connects with people.
Exactly.
And so then that's how you end up, you know, being able to host shows and having, you know, more people staying from your music than people that have, you know, a bunch more followers than you or
Exactly.
supposedly in theory more listens than you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It definitely makes a difference. Like these past few years, I noticed things weren't like working the way I wanted them to. Like
The
I was
music?
thinking I was kind of moving like I was bigger than I was.
Okay.
Like I felt like I deserved certain things. And so right before I dropped this project, I kind of dialed it back. I'm like, man, this shit is not fun no more. I can't cuss on here.
You get
Okay.
You chilling.
So yeah, I'm like, this shit is not fun no more. So I kind of dialed it back. I'm like, man, when was I having most fun? When I wasn't really caring about the numbers, the
Okay.
accolades, the opportunities, whatever. And so that kind of made me like have fun with it again. Just look at it from a different perspective that I used to when I was enjoying making music, when I was just putting it out. That's when I really took hold of like my best creative side.
Right.
Right.
You know
So
what I mean?
it kind of like doesn't make it fun anymore when you're like so worried about like, oh, like this song only has like a certain amount of listens and like you know, my last album or like last project had more listens, like, you know, it doesn't get to you a little bit.
Yeah.
Or it did, but
It
you
did,
know,
yeah. And I'm like, man, why is nobody liking this, or why is nobody watching this? Things
Right.
like that. And then I'm like, let me just let this go.
Right.
Because that could be a pitfall for a musician, right?
Exactly.
If you're just trying to, some numbers can tell you a lot, but sometimes things really are just random.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
You don't want to shift your artistry towards, oh, this seems like it gets more listens, so let me just do more of that. And then it was just a one-off, and now you're kind of now you're out of
Exactly.
you. You're out of yourself.
exactly, because if you go chasing, it's like, I used to gamble a lot, so it's like chasing that hand. If you
Yeah.
lose, you want to make it back, you're going to end up losing
You're just way deeper.
way more than you win. So why not just play for fun? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just enjoy it in the moment, and it'll work out how it's supposed to.
And so then how does your kind of your introverted nature tie into things like working with other artists? Like when it comes to, like, do you work with a lot of different producers? Do you produce all your own stuff? Other rappers?
So when I first started out, I was doing literally everything myself.
Mm-hmm.
Engineering, making beats, recording myself, editing, writing, everything. But after a while, it kind of becomes a lot. Like even with putting on the shows, like I was booking all the concerts, the venues, getting the times ready, the music, booking the DJ, everything. It kind of becomes a lot. So it's like kind of dialing it back a little bit also on that end, to where I am opening up, like working with different engineers, different artists. Like I've worked with a lot of artists from Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
This project is mainly produced by people I have never even met before.
Okay.
Bought them online. I mean, a couple of them from some guy in Germany, another from this guy who I bought beats from for years now. I think he lives in Georgia. But I'm trying to get more in the scene of working with people that I have met,
Yeah.
or people who have introduced me to, you know what I mean? Like local people or just acquaintances, instead of people that I would probably never meet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd rather put money in my or in the pockets of people
That you don't exchange energy.
that can, and to feel the same way about the music that I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Oh, you niggas coming up. Oh, you niggas coming up. Oh, you niggas joking. Oh, you niggas coming up. What it look like? Shawty think I'm sexy, made her look twice. Back then they didn't want me, now I look right. On late to the fakes like a bullfight.
And so, you know, speaking of, you know, working with other people in Sacramento, people you meet and things like that, I kind of, like, in my opinion, I feel like, you know, because I'm from the Bay too, went to Sac State just like you, and then now all of a sudden, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm in Sac. And one of the reasons is, I don't know, I kind of feel like something's in the water a little bit up here when it comes to, like, artistry. Like, you know how it is being from the Bay, and then you talk about Sac to certain people that don't know, and you feel me, they got their noses up, they looking at you in disgust. Like, Sacramento.
Yeah.
You know, but if you actually come up here and live up here, do the time up here, like, the music scene is, there's something special going on.
Oh yeah. And I've noticed it. I've been doing the open mics recently downtown. They got a couple of them. The one at the spot I'm playing at tonight, Restroom,
Yeah.
and then the spot Golden Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Are they doing that Golden Bear? I did not know that.
Yeah, on Tuesdays they have them, and then Restroom. They were on Thursdays, but they just changed them to Wednesdays. But going to those shows, that's how I ended up, or those open mics, that's how I ended up on the show tonight. Just being on the music scene, like, it's crazy. Like, and a lot of people know each other too. Sacramento, it's big, but it's small at the same time, especially in the music scene,
For sure.
which is not a bad thing, because everybody's in grind mode and everybody's connected. And it's definitely some names that I've seen personally that could be really big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm opening up for tonight. It's probably the first time I've opened up for somebody in years. And I don't mind it at all because the artists that are going after me are all dope.
Yeah.
Like really dope. Like Gabe the Fourth,
Yep.
Coco, Beatnik Scum, Jakari Smith, and French 75. They're all really dope in their own rights, and I really don't mind going in front of them and then just watching them after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think the big thing about out here is the support too.
Yeah.
Like I feel a lot of love, and I'm not from out here, but everybody treats it like I am. You know what I mean? And that's dope because they don't have to. They can say, just like the Bay does to Sacramento, they can turn their nose up at me and
Yeah, you're not from up here.
yeah, you're not from up here. Why would we? But people think I'm from here.
Right.
So, and I don't even deny it no more. Like, I put it in my songs and everything. I'm from Richmond, but like people say, "Oh, you a Sac artist?" I'm like, "Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I'm cool with being a part of this."
Yeah.
know what I
Because
mean?
it's a wave going on, right?
Exactly, and everybody's showing so much love. So, like, a little bit more love than I get in the Bay anyway. Even though I haven't been down there as much as I need to, but
Right.
yeah, no, it's definitely some big things happening out here, especially in the music scene for sure.
I think one of the big things with the Bay is just like it's so like not even big just like size wise, but like there's all these little pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like being from the Bay and being from Richmond and Vallejo, Oakland, you know, SF, like it's completely different things.
Oh yeah,
So everyone wants to like, even though it's all like quote unquote the Bay, and we come together when it's time. Everyone wants to draw their line in the sand though.
oh yeah,
Out in Sac, we're all going to the same place to have fun. You going to Doco or you going to Midtown?
exactly.
So I feel like that's good for artists. Like you're always going to see the same DJs out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it creates new opportunities for people like, you know, all the time.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's so dope because it's like Sac. I mean, if you come from the Bay, Sac is Sac. That's including Natomas, Folsom, Roseville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just pocket everything in one place. But at the same time, when you live out here, it's kind of the same way because, like you said, everybody goes to Doco or Midtown to have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So out, like you said, out in the Bay, you're going to Oakland, San Francisco. Those are like 20 minutes apart. You got to go through the whole bridge. Nobody's driving that.
Yeah.
As far as like nightlife and happening, there's nothing going on in Richmond.
Exactly. Absolutely not. I was just on FaceTime telling my friend that earlier. Like, what you doing this weekend? He's like, nothing. I'm like, yeah, treks.
Yeah. Or like you might go to Berkeley.
Yeah.
So it's really like.
But then that's its own thing, kind of.
Exactly. Those are all different settings and then they don't like really mesh. And there's a lot of politics out there too. You know, so there's definitely talent out there, but they got to find some way to just bring everything together. That's something they can learn from out here.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring it back to your album, The Social Introvert. Can you kind of like go over the process of that album? I know looks like it's about 8 songs, 27 minutes long. So like, how did you decide on like the length and what songs that you wanted to put on the album?
To be honest, I didn't want to have it at 8 songs because 8 songs or more makes it an album.
Right.
But I couldn't leave any of those songs out. And some of those songs, like the song Bless You, I had released before as a single. But I'm like, man, this fits perfectly into this. And so starting off at the first track, This Is Your Jam, I felt like that was a perfect intro.
Yeah,
It was
hard.
It worked.
Um,
It was hard.
Appreciate that. It's something, just an attention grabber, because the intro is supposed to introduce the rest of the album, and it's supposed to get people to keep wanting to listen. I was kind of missing at that before. Like, I'll probably put like my most popular song in my opinion, before I put it out, at the beginning, and then put kind of like some of the weaker songs after. But this one, I feel like it was like, all right, what's next? You know what I mean? And this is probably the most songs I've put out in a long time. Like, I'll just put out four song projects just to keep it light. But yeah, starting off with the intro, I feel like it was a good attention grabber. And then I put what was next? Hydro Nitro, I believe was next.
Yep.
And that was another one that's like, oh, okay, like, let me keep going. And then I kind of went from there, and then I had to, like I said, I like making songs about women, so I had to add a little section in there strictly, what was like 3 or 4 songs right in the middle, and then ended off with him at the end, which I felt like was a good outro.
Right, it was.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't really much thought into that, but that's basically it. But some of the songs, like, it took me a long time to finish, because sometimes I'll write super fast, sometimes I'll write super slow, but when I record, I know right away if I like the song or not. Like, within the first 20 seconds of recording it.
Okay.
And so sometimes I'll start recording and I'm like, I don't like the way this sounds, I'll scrap the whole song. And so some of the songs on the project I rewrote like 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember which one specifically, but actually, no, the Hydro Nitro, I want to say I wrote that a few times. So yeah, I don't really have a specific process of writing or putting everything together, but yeah, that's kind of how it came out.
It ended up turning out really well.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Nah, you could really rap.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
When did you know, like, I'm kind of nice? You know what I mean?
I kind of felt it a few years back. I've honestly always thought I was clean, but
Yeah.
I kind of knew towards the end of last year. I was dropping a few songs, like a song "Let's Get to It." It was like a span of songs. "Let's Get to It," "Freak Nick," "I Got 'Em," and then "I'm on Fire." And once that one came out, it was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is it. And then that's when I dropped this one.
Which is good growth, because you said, you've been making music forever.
Yeah.
But then just as of a year ago, that's when you really felt like, you know what? Like, I'm in the zone. I'm having a heat check right now. Let me keep it going.
Exactly. And then, like I said, at the end of "I'm on Fire," I said, did I miss yet? Like, because I was at the point where I have to do this or I'm going to just quit music. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a reality check for myself. Like I'm, and this is right towards the end of Sac State, actually. I never really had the time to focus strictly on music ever in my life. I was always doing something, music, sports, school, relationships, things like that. But now it's straight up just me. So now this is proof to myself. Like, all right, is this what you want? So I had to show it.
I feel like the project speaks right to that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yep. So, one last thing before we get you up out of here. So we do this thing. Usually we do it kind of earlier as an icebreaker, but I'm still gonna go ahead and ask it.
Yeah.
So we always ask all the artists, if you're on a deserted island and you only had one album to listen to on that island and you just stuck there, you're not going anywhere, what would that album be?
Damn. Stuck for how long?
You're not coming back. You're not coming back.
Man. one album that comes to mind is Trilogy. The Weeknd.
Okay.
fire.
That's a good pick.
A lot of songs.
Cause that's a lot of music.
I'm
you know
gonna
what
say
I'm
a lot of
music.
songs.
And
That's smart. I feel like that's the most clever answer because we talking about albums within an album right now, basically. So,
exactly.
so that's pretty
There's
clever.
a lot of songs, and I can say I like at least 90% of that album, and I can listen to it all the time. At least I probably like more, but
What's your favorite off of the album?
whew, nah, that's a crazy question.
That's a whole different question.
Yeah. Man, let me look at the list.
Yeah.
Because I've been slapping 28 a lot.
Okay.
Montreal is probably my favorite Weeknd song, but it's one that I'm missing.
We all pulling up
I
Trilogy.
know, yeah.
What You Need.
What You Need, yes.
What You Need, I feel like is a crazy song, but I mean, I can say a bunch of them like Party After Party, same old song,
That
next,
Dirty Diana.
Outside, Dirty Diana.
Abel was hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why a lot of people like say his music is trash now.
Yeah.
Cause they no, like
No, I
not
know what you're
trash,
saying.
but
No, I
yeah,
just said
I
that's
think
what you-
I would listen to him. He's one top 5 artists for me.
Yeah.
But they equate it to this.
Yeah. I know exactly.
I'm like, you're not gonna get that back.
Right.
He was in a whole different place in his life.
Yeah.
But I hella like the album that just came out. Best Friend was my favorite song for that album. But yeah, I tell people like, you're not gonna get this version
Yeah.
ever again.
It's not coming back.
It's not. It's not. The
You know.
same thing when like people say like Drake,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna get Take Care and So Far Gone. You're not gonna get none of that back. He's in a whole nother space. That's why he dropped this EDM or dubstep
the house
album.
music.
Yeah, house music.
Honestly, never
like,
mind.
That's one of this boy's favorite projects.
I
We
liked
talking
it.
about
I
Really?
really liked it, yeah.
yeah, like same with like Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
People say Wayne fell off. I don't think he did. Like, Wayne can still give you Wayne, but you're not gonna get Drought, No Ceilings, all of that. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get that back. You
Right.
just kind of
Yeah.
adjust to the times. Everybody talk about old heads, but when it comes to like that, everybody acts like an old head, not
Yeah.
letting growth happen.
Exactly.
It makes music no fun.
Exactly. Like just enjoy the moment, because you gotta live in the moment.
Right. It's not like if he continuously made the same type of music, people would be like, "Oh, he trash. He only makes the same
Exactly.
type of music."
You can't win.
Yeah.
Artists are in a lose-lose position.
Right.
That way for sure.
Because if you don't make the same music, yeah, like you said, then people gonna like, oh, you fell off, or
Right.
like the Baby drops the same song all the time. People talk about that, so like I don't know. I feel
Folks
like-
pick and choose who they get tired of too.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because the Baby, he's not one of my favorite rappers, but at the same time, you know, I liked him and I felt like, yeah, he stays in the same pocket. Y'all already saying he fell off 2 years into the career.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's people, but then there are people that they say make, like Pusha T, like 22 years rapping the same exact way, and it's hard, and everyone's like, you know, that's like critical acclaim right there. I'm like,
Yeah.
but what's the difference?
Right.
I mean, I guess one raps better, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
what's
mean,
the?
I have my own opinions about Pusha T's music, but
But I'm just saying what folks say.
yeah,
You
no,
know what I
facts,
mean? Like-
facts. And it's expected out of Pusha T, like, you know, he's gonna rap about. You know what I mean?
But it's fine.
it's fine because I feel like they give certain artists a pass. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
said.
But then new artists are expected to switch up within 2 years, or else they're trash. Like, he had the quickest fall off ever, and it's like, yeah, y'all the ones that say he fell off.
Exactly. Y'all messing up the process. But yeah, no, I say people just gotta enjoy it. If you like it, you like it. If not, you don't.
Yeah.
You know.
And do you feel like that's an approach you take to your music too?
Yeah, now especially, it's like everything. I see all the chatter and stuff. It's like your opinion really doesn't matter too much, because if the people who like my music still like it, then it's still gonna do what it does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why people are so big to this day. Like, Like it's their cult following, that certain core of fans. If they still rocking with you, then you'll be fine. You know what I mean? You'll be able to enjoy that, make a living off of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, for example, Larry June. He's not a super big artist. A lot of people would say he can't rap.
Yeah.
But what he raps about a lot of the same stuff too. Same flow and everything, but it works. You know what I mean? And he has
his formula.
Yeah, he has a formula and a super cult following.
Yeah.
What he would call organic.
Organic, yeah. Numbers, all that. So yeah, I mean, sticking to the blueprint is okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There will be people who come on and fall off, but as long as you got that train on the track, you'll be all right.
All right. Well, on that note, stick true to yourself, everybody. Stay organic. Stay working. It's been greatness. Thanks for kicking it, man.
I appreciate y'all for having me. This is dope as hell.
Do you want to tell them where we can find your music? And
yeah, Social Introvert out now. Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, YouTube, Deezer if you use that. Probably nobody does, but shit, you put it on an Instagram story, Snapchat, TikTok, all of that.
That's Gr8tness with an 8 in it, right?
Gr8tness, Gr8tness, and all social media. They don't know Ant.
And this has been episode 2. Thank you, Gr8tness. You can catch me in Key next time.
Of course.